Growing up gaming in the early 2000s was honestly a different experience. In this day and age, like kids just don't get to experience the same thing that we got, and that's honestly something I like feel really bad on because like now it really is just monetized and everything is like either a subscription service or a microtransaction. Like there's no actual wars, there's no benefits. I even remember back when like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, that was kind of like my highlight. That was my claim to fame, prime time intervention era, right? I think for a lot of people as well. But Call of Duty, their DLCs that they ended up providing, even the multiplayer ones, they were DLC packs that you had to pay for, so they weren't free, but they didn't have those microtransactions in the store, which honestly, in a way, I do like that you do have that option, so that does make buying those deals you don't have to buy those like additional maps, if you will, for a video game like a Call of Duty map. Like I feel like that was just kind of like dumb and over with. No one knew how to do that, especially if you bought maps and they were just bad, just certified trash can emoji of a map. And I mean, I feel like there's a lot of them. I feel like Call of Duty has always just had misses. I've always been in and out on a Call of Duty game. I mean, I feel like that's why like I just keep playing the 2019 Modern Warfare, just because that was like the better one. That's like the last one I bought, and it was like the first one I bought in a long time, probably since Advanced Warfare, but I'm not really sure. And it just, I thought a few after that, and like they just don't hit the same. I mean, growing up while playing video games, I feel like was like an interesting perspective, mainly because like I grew up playing them a lot, overly to the point where now, like in my older age, I mean, even God forbid, I mean, I know I'm like using screen recordings of like even video games that I've been playing while I speak to you guys, but they really just don't have that same effect that they used to, like as when I were growing up. I mean, again, I was sitting in front of these things like all day, every day, like long hours of the night. Like you were thinking I was working a hospital shift or something for like 24 hours. I mean, I feel like that's like something that's like still there, is like the addiction factor. And like, I mean, even with my older age on like playing video games, like I just feel like they don't hit the same. I mean, I think this is like something that like a lot of people are coming like to terms with, especially just because they are just that different. It's kind of like when you think like back or to like when you were a kid, like everything either seemed a little bit more vibrant or like a warmer tone. I mean, there's like even science that even with like the lights at night, like they changed them, so like everything really has just changed, and we really just gotta find like the duality. But I mean, I feel like by like the time I went to college, I wasn't really like playing video games, or this was like the phase where I was just moving on, like finding other hobbies, if you will, just exploring other like parts of life. And like that was, I say, something is like I always felt like I was late when I was doing that, because like when I didn't really play sports, like I'm gonna be real, like growing up, even all of like high school, I pretty much just kind of like played video games. I had my little small group of friends, but outside of that, like I didn't really get up to too much. It was like really big into like Fallout and all those kind of games, and Red Dead Redemption. Those were huge. And then I ended up getting like a laptop that ended up branching into me having a PC when I was 14. But Left 4 Dead and Gary's Mod all the way, like for my teen years, man, those were like the thing. Like that's how, even like Minecraft too, like when I first got like a PC or laptop, actually, I met like my first internet friends. I was playing Minecraft Hunger Games back in the OG days, and then that's when I came across one of my friends that I still have today. It was like a long journey. It was just being like, literally like we were 13 or something, not even 12, 13, which I would say like gaming in that way, like I feel like I've like been able to introduce myself to like some interesting people, because as you do like on the internet. But I was just like one of those things, like it just kind of got to a point where that feeling just isn't there anymore. Even like the internet friends, I feel like they're always just gonna be around. So like that's the thing, is like you can always just kind of like leave. Probably, I mean, hey, people who like playing video games and still like playing their video games, especially in their adulthood, like they're probably gonna be around regardless of like what they're doing in their life. It's kind of like I was gonna say it's kind of like a crackhead, because a crackhead always finds a way to have money for crack. But that's it was one of the biggest disappointments when Skate came out, and it just ended up being what it was. And I mean, I'm like a nostalgic fan, right? I grew up playing them, and they're making a game that isn't meant for the ones who were playing it. I feel like they try to like say that, even though they just did bad. I mean, I feel like even their player numbers is like goes to show, because like no one plays it. I think maybe like 13,000 max right now. But I mean, the game, whatever. Everyone's defense seems to be that it's still in alpha, but it's been in development forever. Okay, not my problem. But I feel like that even has like a point that like turns people to on why they don't even like them in the first place, is because we have these AAA titles that like we're seeing, much like in the job market or just like life, we're just seeing what we're given, and we know it's just not really enough, or it's not what it used to be. And that's like something that I feel like it's just something that's like hard to come to terms. I mean, I guess like the newer age, but damn, marketing really had to like take over and monetization, and I feel like in a way like it just kind of like ended up killing games, which is also like the company that made Arc Raiders. Like I mean, like they're more indie developing studio. Like they're a lot smaller, and I think we're gonna see like a resurgence of just a more independent companies rather than bigger holding companies. And this is like in every way, not necessarily just gaming. I mean, I feel like there's always going to be a game out there, but I mean, hey, do you guys even remember like all the times like if you were like with your buddies or like friends and like you're just trying to find a game to play and like you spend like what, $15 maybe 30 like on something new, and then you play it like not at all, you play it like once or twice a day, and then or like maybe a week, and then like after that you just don't even touch it again. That's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like a lot of us, or a lot of people I know, like they're just like seeking to like find something permanent that like people can always just go back to, but those things just don't seem like they exist. Like I mean, my taste is for sure changing, because I would say even in a way I want more of a casual like experience where I can like also just indulge into like a story, if you will. Like I love story games, always have. Even like the city builders, I probably need to start playing those again, like or anything that had like base building, city building kind of things where you can just like manage your own system. Those were like the kinds that I always gravitate towards, especially Telltale. Those like style of games I like miss. Even like the Man of Medan or the Dark Picture Anthology is what it's called. That was like another one like was huge. I love that they're co-op, even though like sometimes they're mocap, and I think they have like actors, so like I feel like a lot of their budget really does just go to the people that are acting the game, because they are more story based. But like I love them, man. Like even like the Dark Pictures, or I even like Until Dawn, Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human, all games like that. Like those are like the ones that like I feel like I just was able to always those were always the ones that I could get lost into in a way that like in MMO I just never could. Same with Overwatch, even when that one came out, even Fortnite, man. I remember back when like Fortnite was a plant versus zombie type of survival thing where you just built a little base and like you had to like kill zombies in waves, and like now it's like just their battle royale like popped off, and I always like wondered, I mean I probably just could just Google it, but like if that was like an accident, like they're like, hey, why not just make a battle royale mode? Because I even remember like those kind of games weren't that popular. I think there was PUBG and maybe another one, but outside of that, I mean I feel like Fortnite really came in and just like that was the one that like ended up changing. And I remember like seeing all like the ad, not, they weren't even ads, like they were just viral videos that you would see of people like hitting trick shots in crazy scenarios, and like it's literally big, or it's like ginormous. It's like one of the biggest things. I feel like that's what even put, I know Unreal Engine has always been around, but like dude, put them on the map, especially even with Unreal Engine 5. I feel like the technology within that is like something that's like so unreal, and especially like right now for like what is happening and like the newer things that we can do with the optimization, and that goes probably depends on the PC somebody has, right? But I don't have like the best rig at all. I have like a 2060 Super, and that thing has been trucking through it. Like, oh man, I mean I feel like just even the ecosystem was completely different for like the early 2000s, and online gaming was just something that was a lot more lawless. Like I remember like sitting on like AOL. I remember the first time like we saw somebody that was like considered like a bot, because we were just responding too fast. We were like, there's no way a human's like responding to us that quickly, and like we were just blown away at like that tech. But yeah, since these things are like just that time period, especially for being on the internet, I feel like again a way like people just don't care. I mean I feel like if you look at the internet now, like you would totally see just like everything, and like people just don't care already. But like no, like even in like lobbies there just weren't as many like terms, if it will. And I say like this is like something like fully missed, because like you can just go into like a Halo 3 lobby, and or a Modern Warfare one, or Call of Duty in general, and like you would get absolutely flamed for just existing. You have a mic, your squeaker, it's a wrap. Like now you can't really do that. Like have you ever played Valorant and try to use VoIP and then be a little toxic? I used to play CSGO heavy, so like I mean you feel like even that was like the trash talking was even in that one. But even back then, like they had an open mic system for every time the round would switch. Everyone would be screaming at each other at that rate. Like that's when everyone knew. It was like that's when we need a fucking shit talk. And there's something with that. I feel like it even comes down to road rage, because like you can be like the kindest human being, and then someone's gonna scream if you cut them off in a car. Even now, like people in Arc creators or something like that, like they're chill. I guess it does just depend on like the game's community and like what they built for themselves, or maybe even there's terms and conditions. Because I feel like even in Counter-Strike, like no one even speaks to each other. It's been a while now, but you know that was like always the thing. It was like the biggest dampener of like playing that game is like how can you even have fun? Like it is a competitive game, but like no one's even using VoIP And I feel like that's like something that like is so needed in video games, especially in this time. I mean, everyone's in like a party chat now. I mean, I personally, since I'm on PC, I can do both. Push to talk all the way, by the way, because anyone else who doesn't, it's, and you can really just hear everything. But at the same time, it's like something I even enjoy, like being in like a Call of Duty or a cross platform. It's just, I love knowing that like I'm playing with a guy that's sitting in his living room with his headset on, like, and he just got off work, right? Like that's like when you're around just people, but in that digital space that are just different. Because I mean, hey, I feel like if you go for like not RuneScape, I mean, I've been playing that one recently, but I feel like if you go for more of like a PC player, like, I mean, we already know like PC players are a lot more inclined to not spend full game price on a video game. They're gonna find a way or wait for a sale compared to like a console player. I mean, I feel like even like something like older games, they really like allowed you to kind of like just pick up where you left off. I mean, these still exist now, but I need to grab wine. But they allow you to like pick up where you left off, and I mean, those kind of games still exist. Maybe for like console players or like the story ones that come from, I don't know, or console ones. But like now, like it has that like fear aspect to it, like the FOMO, and like everyone, they want you to feel like you're leaving out. And like I do appreciate when like a video game does like keep just battle passes available there for you even after like the season ends, so you can like still progress it. Because I mean, hey, if you want to spend money on it, like, why not? Or maybe if a new season comes out, make that other one free. I don't know how that works, man. That's not my business, I guess, even though I worked in marketing and understand it. I'm gonna shut up though. I'm gonna start to sound bitter. But yes, hey, maybe more of the story is like these triple gay. I feel like these AAA titles are now kind of like stuck with high demanding stakeholders and or maybe just investors that want them to get the most amount of money that they can out of a video game, and that's kind of like where it is. And I choose to believe that's exactly where like even Skate went wrong. I feel like I'm gonna keep bringing that one, but there's a number of flops that like ended up happening. Even something that like Repair Themselves, Fallout 76, I would say that game flopped. I can play my whole way through it. When I did play it, it was like back when they came out with like the settlements, so like they're actually people, because how are you gonna make a fall game with no people? That just sounded dumb, and it literally was. I remember there was like this raider robot in that one that just made me want to blow my, it was the voice actor, I'm not gonna lie, it was the voice actor. She just pissed me the fuck off. Also, I seem to have a sensitive, I've realized this after like playing GTA again with Lester's voice, that like I just cannot listen to a voice filtered like it's on a phone kind of voice effect, and like that just, GTA, like they just don't even shut up. Those NPCs will like talk to you the whole entire way through a mission, and that's just annoying. And I feel like a lot of these games, like they just kind of like leave you in a like stay engaged or like play it forever, or like you're just gonna like fall behind. I mean, it's always nice to like have something that you just pick up and like turn your brain off, but even there, like Call of Duty, right? Like I feel like if you play that, or what is it, NBA 2K even, like I used to play those all the time. I swear to God, like the last good one, I think it was either 2K19 or 2K20. I don't really remember. I mean, I've always played the old gen versions because I've never had a newer gen console, but that was like, I would say like the last time period when like those were good. I can't attest to like the newer ones, but I mean I've always kept up. Even like PGA 2K was a fire. I love those ones, and I just want them to make one that slaps. Like make it open world. I mean, I think that sounds like insane. Like make it open world, but like low key, if they put like a park inside of PGA 2K, or a playground like how they have in NBA, or a whole neighborhood town thing, that thing would be lit. Like honestly, like they really should just like take notes. Like just reskin all of PGA into like what 2K was, but for golf. Like that shit would be fun. Also make courses just better. I don't know why this turned into a 2K review, but anyways. Also, something that I've like noticed in video games is that like the lobby system really does seem to be dead. I mean, this wasn't even in like GTA. I mean, I guess it was like the free mode. You can just like play with this, join a lobby and like stay with those same people, right? Like how they had in Modern Warfare CODs back then. Like you end up getting like recycled out though. I'm pretty sure, and like a lot of them, like you don't really even get the same people. I am playing like the 2019 Call of Duty still, or the Modern Warfare Call of Duties, but like from what I remember, it does just recycle the match. Like unless you're in a party, like you get to keep your friends, but then outside of that, it's just a lot more of the individualism state. So like you don't even get as play against the same people more than once unless you get lucky to get into the same match with them. We really aren't playing people anymore. We're just like playing a next to them. Like they're our teammate for like that match, and then we're gone. Like we don't get to like see them again unless we like send them an invite because we thought they were good or cool. But I feel like every single time I've like done something like that, I would like send somebody an invite and then I would do absolutely horrible, maybe like for the next match or like two, and then they just leave. I'm like, well, that's my bad. The AAA titles, like they really just want to like find a way to like get us to play more, because again, I feel like something that we always, we're made to believe like the cheapest thing that like you can do for like your brand is like get sacks of blood, right? And that's what brings in revenue. And when that's how like say like an executive thinks or like a stakeholder, and they're like, all right, we gotta like dump so much money into this to ensure that like we get people to spend money. I feel like this is even like thing that happened on Skate. Kind of keep bringing up Skate, but like this is like something that is like the most current one, I feel like, because they really just they had the audacity and they slapped on just JPEG brand logos onto like existing clothes that they didn't do anything. Like it's just voiding of creativity, it's voiding of craft, brand, whatever, man. I don't care. I'm gonna shut up on that one. I won't bring it up again. Also maybe just streaming, I feel like had like a ginormous shift on like games, because like again, I feel like a lot of people play them and or they just play along with like a streamer while they're doing it. And it was like something like I used to like watch Twitch all the time, and games really did just kind of like feel more like a product versus a service. And I think that's like why a lot of people are just upset when like something they hear that something is like fully online or like is an online lobby or base, because like technically like even if you buy the game, you can't do anything in it if you just don't have internet access and or a subscription service or something like that, right? And that's like something that I feel like can just be a prohibitor to like some of these games. And we were really transported in the era where everything is an alpha stage, so like they don't even care to like actually give you a product that is fully working, because they know that they can just fix it in an update coming out. And I think that is like something that has been, I feel like that is like something that has just been a problem in video games in general. And I do think that with how successful games like Arc Raiders or like these other like smaller studios are like starting to become, even because of streamers. So I think the modern culture that we have, because we have like a lot more outreach, or like people have a lot more outreach, and there's a lot of ways to like, I mean, not to say like be more creative, but like anyways, we can like produce like a lot more now in this day and age, especially if you are like a smaller team. And that's like something that is like gonna be a good benefit, I hope, in the long run. But we will also just see how like everything like plays out, because like, yeah, I mean, even something we see is like these newer games are like made by like teams of like 500 plus people, right? The bigger corporations, where like there's just so many parts going into it. And like, yeah, that can add like a lot of detail, but even then, like when things are like being built by like so many people, I feel like 500 might be like max. Like that's an exaggeration for sure, but like compared to like a smaller studio where they're allowed to like the file sizes, even at that, like, are smaller, they can like keep track of things. It was like when they're at that scale and that big, I mean, hey, I used to work in marketing, so like millions of dollars of like a budget for like something, and it's like we had so many people were moving parts, it's like you just can't actively fully keep up with it. And I feel like that's where even like playtesting like became like a problem, is because these games like they would pump out and like they would just be full-blown broken. Like there was like a time period where video games used to have to like kind of prove themselves to just be known as a form of art or entertainment back in the day. And like now they really are, like they get awards and they get like what they deserve, I would say that. But I feel like even with that, like came that monetization of video games. I do feel good stories, good writers, good creative, good everything like deserves to be rewarded and talented. And I think things like Red Dead Redemption, even like they are phenomenal. Even like GTA, even though Take-Two Interactive, everyone has like their opinions on them, but they've like pumped out some phenomenal products that people love, phenomenal stories that people just like have always been attached to or grown towards. I mean like the Red Dead Redemption series alone is just like one of like the best written things, and there's just so much to do in it. I mean, even though the thing is like, or not the thing is, but with Red Dead, what stopped it, even though it generated millions of copies, I'm talking about Reddit too, but like they generated millions of copies in sales, but because it was a story game, I feel like not as many people played it. But even that one, actually, I want to touch on is that Red Dead Online, Take-Two Interactive literally just saw, I don't have facts on this at all, but like I swear they just saw that it wasn't making as much money through their microtransaction gold bar system as what GTA was with their shark cards. So they just decided to cut the content completely, or the support, which I think that was just a dumb move. But hey, then again, essentially I am a lot more optimistic, and I really do think, and I root for like smaller developers to like start pumping out like, or smaller studios to be able to pump out like much better content for people to like actually be able to enjoy it, that feels a lot more authentic, and like things that we can like always just like keep and come back to. Because I mean, I feel like with that, we're like coming to like a tipping point where like it doesn't really feel like a hobby. It's more of like an industry for like how much is like being dumped into it. And anyways, with that, peace.
I want to be a cowboy, man.